Hello, good morning. Welcome to the morning routine. My name's Lauren.
And I'm Ian.
And it's a lovely day.
It's a lovely
the
Sunday.
Morning.
Yeah.
Have a little coffee, ready to breathe, get moving, and listen up.
Get those hips going.
Got some hips ahead
Right
for
on.
you.
We have our chair or ottoman or bench-like props here with us today. We have our body weight. We have our good friends. Simple apparatus like that chair, the piano bench, or any other object could suit you pretty well. Let's start actually sitting down. Yeah. Ooh, you might have to get a booster seat.
I know.
Get your feet on the floor. Okay. So from that seated position, on Friday, we talked about pulling in those hip flexors, feet rooted, pull in those femur heads to the hips, take a breath, relax. It could be a lot of work. Then do that same effort that we can hold and maintain for a little bit of time here. Place the hand belly, place the hand chest. Take a big breath into the belly, creating room. Big sniff in and out. And repeat one more time down low, looking for room. The belly button will pull away from the spine, and then on the exhale, pull in. Now keep that nice connection and breathe into the ribs for 2. Breath in. And exhale. And one last time, breath in, belly button to spine. 360 around those rib cages. And exhale. Now one more time in the belly, nice and big. Feel it full. Exhale. And one more time, chest, breath in. And exhale. We'll return to our breath in a moment, but for now, the head neck. Sit tall, pull the chin in, crown of head high. Lightly flex the C-spine, meaning that head neck, chin, towards sternum. Reset, look straight ahead. As we reset and continue to look up or extending at the neck, pull down on the scalenes of the front of the neck here to support the effort going up. We'll do it twice in a row. Moderate effort on the chin tuck, chin towards sternum. Now pull down, grab tension on the clavicles down below, and slowly extend that head neck towards up, and then reset in the middle. Repeat one last time. Chin tuck down, pull down with those scalenes, and again, support the extension from the front. Reset to tall. Let's try that same effort in our lateral flexion as an ear towards a shoulder. Easy styles, ear to shoulder. Then, pull down on this side to bring the head the other way. And then relax the effort. Alternate. Here, my left ear will go towards my left shoulder. By pulling down on this short side, I add the stability to move the head back towards center. Relax. One last time on each side. Easy flexion of the neck. And pull down on the short side, stabilizing and moving the head back to center. Relax. Last effort here. Lateral flexion, left ear towards left shoulder. Pulling down to bring the head back to center-ish. And then reset, literally, somewhere in the middle. Second style of breath, take a hand belly, hand chest. Big breath in down below. Big exhale, pulling that belly button to spine. Now put a cork in it, take a big sniff in, increase the pressure, slow exhale. Continue to cork and pull that belly button to spine. And another 4-second breath in. And exhale. 2 more. Continue to plug that cork, belly button to spine. Big sniff in and slow exhale. And on this last one, increase that tension pressure through the rib cage and core with a big breath in. And then our nice slow exhale away. I'll hand it to Lauren. Mobilizing that rib cage, she demonstrated her rugby prowess with those shoulders and rolls the other day. So here we go, little rib cage.
That's what we'll do right away.
Yeah, just fire up the ballisticness there.
All right, sitting up tall. I like to have my arms across my chest first. And today we'll explore our 4 directions and then we'll link them. Number 1, lifting up, slightly engaging the core, and think about coming up and over to a lateral bend. Use the long side to pull yourself back to center. Repeat other side, lifting a little bit, up and over, and then using your abs or obliques to right back to center. From here, let's do our flexion and extension. Flexion with the chin slightly tucked, round forward a little bit, ribs to hips here. Pull your blades back together. Keeping the blades where they are, think about lifting your chest and then getting up and over the little shelf behind you. Pull back to center. Nice. I forgot about 2 more directions. We have rotation in our spine as well. From tall, add a rotation. Upper body rotates, head goes with you, staying in line with sternum. Abs pull you back through center. And last time, rotation, head stays with you at center, and core pulls you back through. Let's link all 6 of those into a nice circle. Sitting up tall, gently flex or round forward slightly. Remember or think about where your blades are right now. They're trying not to wrap all the way around forward. They're pinched back a little bit. Now from here, add a rotation, and then add a side bend to that corner. Think about going up and over the shelf to a new corner. You'll pull down and unrotate back to center. Sit up tall for 1 second. Repeat the other way. Flexion forward. Rotation to the other side. Hips are still square. Side bend to that corner. Up and over into extension. Keep your core braced. This is not your low back. Shoulder to that new corner, rotate and round back to center. Sit tall. Ribs.
Love the rib cage like that. In one of my blog posts last week, the weeks blend together, I'm not sure when, but Lauren, static stretches after her runs. The hamstring stretch.
A hamstring.
I'll do the quad, you do the hamstring.
All right. Standing in front of your object, whatever height it may be careful, high will be high. It will feel that way. Standing slightly in front, bend his knee and pull that leg up and let it rest on your piece of furniture. Right now, check in. Are your hips square to that furniture piece? Are your shoulders square? For now, let's flex our foot by pulling our foot towards our shin. And then 1 centimeter, drag that heel along the box, pulling the femur into the socket. That should already intensify that stretch. Now, hands on hips if you'd like. Tilt your hips forward as to spill your punch, tilting your tail to the ceiling. Ooh. What that does is it takes our femur and it lengthens it back. And that means that our hamstring gets even more lengthened. Now stay in this tail tilt position, but point your foot. Good. Suck the leg back into the socket because it might have slipped away. Tilt the tail if it untilted. Now flex the foot again 1 last time, pulling the foot towards the shin. Keep it in its socket. Maybe a small hinge forward. Nice. Stand up tall, extending those hips. Drag the heel off the box. Brush the leg back. Extend to rest. Whew. Same thing, other side. You know what I'm doing.
Do we need to switch?
Yeah, it's okay. Knee bends. Pull it up.
Yep.
Extend with control on that box in front. Foot pull to shin. Drag the heel slightly towards you so the foot gets, or the femur gets pulled in its socket. Now, tilt that tail back. Tail to ceiling. That should already fire that up. I know for me this feels slightly different on this side, a little more intense in the origin of the hamstring, if you will, the top of the femur. Now from here, point the foot. Maybe pull it back a little bit into its socket. Keep that position as you flex the foot 1 more time. Whew, that might intensify it. Slight hinge if you want, but spine is long. None of this.
No rounding.
Extension. Hold.
Ooh.
Stand back up tall. Drag that foot back, bending the knee, brushing it behind you, extending with control. Nice.
Oh
Static.
yeah.
Always a time and a place.
Hamstrings. So maybe that isn't as a passive stretch or static stretching as I led to believe on that. Those little tips definitely make it interesting. As we watch people in the park, yes, we watch people in the park. This is the most performed stretch. On the street corners with runners or in the park, the quad stretch. Let's strengthen that movement. So Lauren will here use the assistance of the chair. I'll use the balance aid off to the side here. We cued it really well earlier, the quads that stay parallel. So with breaking that rule for now, bend the hip and the knee, pulling the foot up. That is one way to bend the knee. Slowly press to the floor. The harder one, the one Lauren's done already, is where those quads stay parallel across the front and slowly flex through the knee. Here, we avoid tilting the hips as to spill punch. Instead, let's scoop it up. We'll do that posterior tuck. Slowly extend the knee. Repeat. As the knee pulls up to the front, now we have Lauren's punch spilling out the front. We have that anterior tip of the hip to flex this leg hip. Then press down. Repeat on the other side. Quads parallel. Slowly flex on the knee, either the pointed foot or the dorsiflex foot. At the hips, we're tucking under posterior tuck and then extending the butt cheek or hip. Slowly extend the knee. Repeat one last time to the front. Here we have an anterior tip of that right hip, spilling out the front, tailbone to the back.
Foot staying
hip
underneath.
Flexion in the front, and then down. And the very last effort here, quads parallel, knee bend. The hips are scooping now forward. 3, 2, slow extend. And then those little knee bends and wiggles in between. We'll switch sides and repeat that same effort on the other leg for
Doesn't
3
really
each.
help me,
Doesn't
but that's
help?
okay.
Okay. 3 on each side. So from here, flexing the hip, drawing the foot up the center of the leg, keep squeezing on that standing hip, and then press down. Then quads parallel in the front. Use the foot to drive the action. And again, slowly extend. The tailbone tips back as the knee in the front comes up. And whether that's your L-sit, your core holds, same thing, and down. And then knee bend, quads parallel. We have our posterior tuck of the hip, ribs to hips. Yep, right on, Lauren. And then nice, slow, straight. Final effort in the front. Again, just position of the tailbone. Make room and use that hip flexor as a fulcrum. And then down. And then one last time, knee bend. How are those hamstrings? Mine are fired up a little bit. Hold on a second longer. And then slow, extend, and shake. We'll be getting to the floor, but first, just a little bit of fun with our wrists. In our practice, we talk a lot about the foot driving the actions of the hips. What about those wrists? Might they drive the actions of the shoulders? Thank you to @BethLewisFit, an instructor we met in New York, who shared this little ditty with us. Kind of links our love of the excavator and everything driving together. Roll along, says Lauren. Take your hand, palms facing the middle to start. With a slight flexion in the elbow, take the hand and reach it towards the floor, and then extend. Then, to flex the elbow, let's initiate that action with the hand. So from down below, pull the hand, and then flex the elbow. Repeat, wrist, elbow, wrist, elbow. Let's do that east and west. Take the hand down, but first lead with the hand. Take the hand up, but first, again, leading with the hand. One more time, go across that midline.
Don't or do?
Do, yep. And then lead with the hand to bring it back. Shake it out, same thing on the other side.
It's like hand surfing at the
Little,
window.
I know, sock puppets, you got it. So from here with the hand neutral, lead with the wrist first, fingertips start facing down, and then extend on the elbow. And then scoop up with the hand, flexing on the elbow. One last time, hand,
I feel like a goose right
elbow, wrist, elbow. And then let's go hand scooping. It may cross that midline and scoop around, and then lead with the hand back. And then one last time, cusp like a wave and go down. And one last time, come back up. Shoot free throws, work on that coordination. That felt kind of interesting. Check out, we'll play with that as we go. Your turn.
We shoot free throws all the time. All right, we're getting down to all fours to do our hip circles. So let's take our hinge, chopping those hips back, vertical shins, hang out here for a second. Feel that load through hammies, glutes, take a breath. And then tip forward and find the floor. All fours. Actually, come off all fours and look at me for 1 second. I'm going to show you our 3 positions and then we'll do them. Position number 1, knee bends, tail stays long, knee comes towards chest, hip flexion, hold, 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 hold. Bring it back through center. Hip extension will be second, reaching the ceiling, try to stay square to the floor, and that tail, but the core is braced. Pull it back underneath. Position number 3, hip hydrant, lifting off to the side, but staying square to the floor, pulling back to center. Let's do those a little bit slower and all together. Come on down. Hands are right underneath your shoulders. Now think about your core before we go anywhere. Brace it. So a slight tuck, a ribs to hips, brace core, neutral spine. From here, take the leg you're going to work on and bend the knee without the knee even coming off the floor. Keep that tension the whole time. Slightly tilt the tail to the ceiling and pull the knee towards the chest to hip flex. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to brush through center and go to hip extension. As we go to hip extension, try to tuck the tail a little bit and square up the hips to the floor. We're reaching to try to kick the ceiling, but not opening up to the side. Feel that glute, feel the hamstring. 3, 2, pull the leg back underneath so it's parallel with the other quad. And from there, without tipping the bowl of water off your back, lift the leg out to the side. Making sure as you lift this, you're still staying long between your rib cage and your hip. 3, 2, leg pulls underneath and rests. Whew. Shake that off. You don't need to turn around, but I will. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Neutral spine, core braced. Bend the knee. I'm going to change that instruction a little bit. Tilt the tail slightly to the ceiling. Lift that knee off the floor and bring it to hip flexion, knee towards your chest. Holding, staying long out the back. 3, 2, as we pass through center and go to kick the ceiling, gently tuck a little bit, creating that tension in core so that we're not arching in our low back, but lifting from the glute. Hold. 3, 2, pull that leg back under to center. Once it's in a parallel position, bowl of water on your back, don't spill it as you lift that leg to the side. Again, check in that you're staying long between ribs and hips there. 3, 2, return the leg to underneath. Gently press the floor away, but don't go too far. We're going to link those positions in a second, but first, the 90-90. From this lovely 90-90 position, 90 means 90 at this leg degrees, 90 at this knee, hip, ankle. We'll come down and find our elbow. Our elbow, let me just rotate for you. Our elbow is nice and packed underneath our shoulder. Let's be slumpy, hanging at the beach this summer, but proud at the beach this summer. Now take that top arm, crossing it across your body. Shoulders stay stationary. Head rotates to look at elbow. Head rotates back through center and looks up towards the ceiling. Head rotates back down to look at elbow and stays. Head is looking at elbow. Shoulders rotate closed towards the floor. Ooh. Now let's keep our head where it is and rotate open our shoulders. Breathing. Close your shoulders back up towards the floor. This time, head is gonna look up towards the ceiling, and then shoulders are gonna open up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Bring your head back to center. Bring your shoulders back to center. Press the floor away. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, however you want to get there. I would normally go this way, but then that would be rude because my back would be to you. All right.
I love that one.
That rotation. Yeah, good for the old golf game, apparently.
Yeah.
Elbow under shoulder.
Top hip forward again is really squeeze that top butt cheek.
Pack that top shoulder though. So let's be slumpy again, slumps. Proud.
Slumps.
Nice proud shoulder, 90-90 here. Head first. I like to keep this arm across my body. Head first. Head looks at elbow. Rotate through center. Head looks towards the ceiling. As I'm doing this, I'm thinking that my nose is drawing a relatively curved but straight line, so it's not wiggling all over the place. As I'm looking at the floor with my head, I'm going to close up my shoulders towards the floor. Ooh, different on this side. And then, keeping my head where it is, I'll open up my shoulders and breathe. I'll close back up my shoulders. This time my head will start the rotation. My shoulders will follow, opening up to the ceiling. Taking that breath again. My head will come back to center. My shoulders will come back to center, pressing the floor away. Taking a second, watching what I'm about to do, and then we'll join. We're gonna go all fours, hip circles, linking those three positions together to create a circle. It'll go like this, but slower. Knee will bend, tail long, hip flex, lift to the side. Draw that circle with your knee all the way around the back. Try not to spill that bowl of water.
That honey pot still on. Oh, water today.
Honey pot.
Still on there.
I prefer maple syrup.
Ooh.
Pull the knee all the way underneath, and then we'll switch the direction. Kick the ceiling, square up, rotate around, keep long right here, all the way around to hip flexion, and rest. Okay, let's do that all again.
I like it.
Come on down. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. I like to have my other toe tucked. I'm going to take the single leg I'm working on and bend the knee right away, trying to kick the butt with my heel. Tail slightly tilted, long. Knee comes towards chest. Hold for a second. Now start lifting that leg out to the side. As you go there, that ankle might lift towards the ceiling. The knee draws a circle all the way around the back to your hip extension. Out the back, pause and hold. Could you square up your hips better? Could you kick the ceiling a little more, but keep your abs braced? Pull that leg back under to center or to parallel. Just keep it hovering, reverse the direction. Kick the ceiling. Hip extension, hold. Stay square to the floor as that knee draws a circle around. Out to the side through our fire hydrant. Staying long between our ribs and hips. Knee comes around towards the elbow, towards the chest, and then gently places down under. Whew. Press the floor away, shake it out. Same thing other side. When I say stay long between my rib and my hip, I mean this section of my body here. Sometimes when we see people trying to create a bigger circle, we'll get a little bit of this kind of crunchiness going on here. So keep that long. All right, back to work. Hands under shoulders. Tail to ceiling slightly. Bend that knee. Knee comes towards chest. Hold that tailbone long. From here, leg lifts out to the side. Then it continues to draw that circle. Ankle might lift towards the ceiling. As you draw the circle out the back, keep those hips square to the floor. I know I always have to adjust a bit. Square to the floor, kick the ceiling, hold. 3, 2, knee stays bent as it brushes through center. Tail stays long. Reverse it. Kick the ceiling. Ribs to hips a little bit. Then open up, drawing that circle around the hydrant. Right here, stay long in the rib and hip area that we just talked about. Knee comes towards elbow. Pulls under towards chest, but tail stays long. Knee rests back to center. Whoa, fire burning.
Oh yeah.
Guess we get to stand up now.
Standing up.
I'm going to stand up
down
via
dog.
my down dog hinge.
Love
If your
it.
wrists are okay, let's bend our knees, tilt our tailbone long. Gently try to straighten those hamstrings or knees. Breathe. Bend your knees again. Tilt your tail. One last time, try to straighten those legs, keeping that spine long. Then bend the knees, walk the hands up via your hinge, extend to tall. Whoa.
At one of our very early training certifications, the training concept of wind, unwind was presented. Do you remember who said that?
Sean.
Montreal Styles, you got it. Yeah, different Sean.
That was a guess.
Different Sean. Wind, unwind, fronts and backs.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Go both ways on that. From here, Lauren cued that hinge beautifully. Let's start challenging that hinge, improving some balance with our single leg variation. Hinge stance. Lauren's is just outside of the hips, as is mine. Chop on those hip flexors, vertical shins, heavy feet, long spine. From here, I'll transfer my weight to my left side. Then, circling that other leg around the back, keep it contact with the floor the whole time. And for 5 or similar seconds here, millimeter extension in the front leg to load up that lateral posterior hip. Then drive through, squeeze both butt cheeks, little core brace, open up your stance. Just a little more room so bonk heads. We're gonna switch. Set up that hip hinge, vertical shin, spine long, transfer weight. There will be this very obvious shift. Then circle that leg around the back, keep it on the floor. And again, on that front leg, encourage it to straighten just a little bit.
To get your shin vertical.
That we feel the load now on the hamstrings and glutes in the back. And then extend those hips to tall. We'll open our stance. We'll do it one more time each side, setting up that hip hinge. Press your weight over with nice little weight transfer. I'm going to oversell that knee comment. So here my knee is going way over my toe. So for 5 or similar seconds, I'll be trying to pull the knee to stack, maintaining the hinge, and then extending through with our squeeze. Final run here, we hinge, check, we transfer, yep. I'm overselling that knee again, so if I circle around the back, the knee could get in front, but here we're gonna try to straighten it up, feel the load, and then extend through.
Load.
The load.
All right, time for some core.
Time to fold.
Oh goodness, entertainment value is going
Oh,
up.
we got it.
Gently standing up tall, tuck your chin towards your chest. We're gonna roll ourselves down via our forward fold and then walk ourselves out to a high plank. Roll yourself down. Take a little breath at the bottom.
Ooh, quick.
And then slowly walk yourself out to a high plank, either from your knees or your toes, depending on how you're doing today. Right now, squeeze your butt. Brace your core. Pull the floor together under you. I couldn't move you if I tried. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Push the floor forward to lift your hips up. Slowly walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands and unfold yourself, meaning stack one vertebrae at a time on top of each other. Head is last. Oh. Nice.
And shake. Let's repeat one last time on those hinges again. Single leg hinges, feeling the load right here. If it's in our back, oops, we want to find the way to load up the hips. Last time, single effort per side. We'll set up the hip hinge, vertical shins, transfer the weight. Circle the leg out the back, keep it on the floor, and then here for 5 or 10 seconds, effort here is to straighten that front leg, straighten the back leg, maintain that hinge, and extend to tall. Last one for today. Set up the hinge. Transfer the weight. Set up that single leg deadlift hinge. And again, encourage that front shin to stiffen or straighten. Keep the hips square. And then to tall. And shake. Back to that walkout.
Back to the walkout. Tall, tall again. Let's fold ourselves down. Gently tucking our chin, rolling ourselves forward like we're in that telephone booth. As you look,
Run out of
that
room.
funny?
Run out of room sometimes.
As you roll forward in your telephone booth, try to remember there's a wall in front of you in those booths, but there's also a wall behind you, so try not to stick your butt out into it. Slowly walk your hands forward into what would be a regular plank. Either stay in this regular plank, or take a hand step forward by 1 step. Now hold this extended plank. Hold. 5. Oh, I wasn't going that far yet. I was saving some for later.
Oh.
3, 2, and then step back underneath. Lift your hips. Unfold yourself back up. Slowly stacking one at a time.
That was beautifully slow. I was
Back
a little
up.
bit fast on that.
Whew. Don't worry, we'll do more of those plank
More
walkouts.
of those plank walkouts, but transitioning from the single leg hinge to our Shiko squat. Open up in that nice, big, powerful pose. Might be 2 shoulder width of yours wide. Press into the floor. Grip with the toes, stiffen the knees, squeeze the butts, bracing those abs. And then wiggle it out. Then slowly gather all the tension from the side and in the floor and pull it together into those hip sockets right here. Feel the push, feel the pull, and then feel the shake and the wiggle in between. Start with stiff knees. Let's pull or adduct as we go down, pulling into the middle. Then let's press to one side and just hold a balance down low. Then straighten the knee, land toe ball heel, and repeat to the other side. Stiffen this quad and glute, and then point and land. Nice and control. We'll do the same thing. Sorry, losing my focus here. We're all good.
I was trying to be
reset.
sneaky.
Yeah, we'll reset. So here we are in the sumo. We'll pull ourselves down. Let's transfer the weight to a single leg, nice and engaged, nice and tall. Then point, toe ball heel. Repeat to the other side, staying low for this set and growing up a wall right here. And then land. Again, for the last time in this set, perhaps climb the leg and then point, toe ball heel, and then extend the hips, climb the leg, point, and then straight up. Heel toes together, friendly wiggles in the middle, and then to the walkouts.
Back to our fold. Let's hinge. We just squatted, let's hinge. Chop your hips back. Then slowly walk yourself back out to that plank. Again, maybe you stay in the regular plank from the knees to the toes, or you take a step forward with your hands, or you take 2 steps forward with your hands. Now hold. Pack your shoulders, squeeze your glutes, tuck your hips under. Couldn't move you even in this position. Pulling the floor together. 4, 3, 2, step, step. Hips lift, tails long, unhinge back up. Meaning push those hips back and then extend to tall. Nice.
Can we wiggle that one out too?
Wiggled.
Wiggled. Okay. One more time on that Shiko squat sets for today. We'll open up to the sumo, pull ourselves to your low position. Fun add-ons include hitting those legs, turn on those VMs with our balance, climb if we wish, point, toe ball heel. Hit those legs, hold a balance, climb a leg, extend, toe ball heel. Same thing. This time, let's break some of my ballet rules as those hips come forward and we extend a knee. And again, slower is harder, so challenge yourself. Nice and control, nice and soft. One last time this set. Up, extend those hips forward and reach. And last time, up, pushing hips forward to reach and land and up.
Whew.
And
Guess what?
the wiggles.
Plank walkout.
Plank walkouts.
All right, could you get a little further away from your center point? If not, no problem. Stay where you are. Hinge. Walk yourself out. Find regular plank, maybe stay there. Tension's up before you go anywhere, so glutes and abs. If you want step, step. If you want another step, step. If you want a third step, step. Hold. Stay tucked. Stay squeezed. Stay braced. Try not to slide into your face on the floor. 3, 2, step, 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 step. Back in. Extended spine. Unhinge to stand back up. To tall. Whew.
To standing.
To
Have a sip of coffee, have a sip of water, or go grab the chair that's off screen. And we'll finish off with one more movement for those hips.
Nice. So we did our bent knees, hip circles from the floor, from all fours earlier today. We're now going to perform them from standing. So tall with your balance aid. Make this about your hip mobility, but stability on the inside, versus about your balance. Standing tall. Gently bend the outside leg, keeping the quads parallel. Commit to either a pointed foot or a flexed foot. I'm going to go pointed. I'm going to gently extend to reach to the back, but keep my ribs to my hips. Then I'm going to start rotating open in the socket, but trying to imagine there's a wall in front of me. I'm trying to send that knee to the side as my foot connects with my knee. Hold for a second. From there, hips stay level as you pull that knee through center. And then brush it back underneath, creating those parallel quads again. Now, ribs to hips. This time, tail stays long as you pull that knee up to the front. Ankle stays underneath you. Keep it tight to the butt. Open the leg to the side, but press the hips forward. Then disconnect that foot from the shin. Internally rotate it or hide the inseam as you reach the leg around to the back. Out the back, create that tension in the core to not arch. Pull the leg to parallel. Flex the foot as you extend the leg underneath. Shake it out. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Fire in the hamstring.
Those are the sweat makers. Maybe we should finish with a static hamstring stretch at the end again. Whew.
All right. Second side.
Y'all set up okay?
Yeah, you go sideways.
Okay.
Side pro. All right. Bending the outside, please. Bending the outside knee. Quads stay parallel. Committing to a foot, whether it's pointed or flexed. Ribs to hips. From here, we reached back slightly, and then we opened the leg in the socket. So the knee came to the side and the foot found the other knee. Holding here are your hips and square, shoulders square forward. Now pull that knee through center. And then keeping it tight to the body, brush it back so the legs are parallel. Then adjust as needed. Pull that leg up front, keeping it tight, 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 tight. Heel to that butt. Keep the connection on that foot to inner thigh as you send the knee to the side. Then disconnect that foot. Internally rotate, hiding that inseam. Reach the leg behind you, but keep it long between your ribs and hips again as you reach out the back. Ribs to hips, knee comes to center, and slowly extend the leg under. Whew.
Oh, yeah.
Hips don't lie.
No. Hips like that help Lauren on the run. Hips like that help Lauren recover from the run. Restore, recharge, feel better with movement. And Sunday morning, after 40 minutes of doing those sorts of things, I agree with everything I just said and really hope that you do too. This week coming up, it's the usual. We have a rest day on Monday, and we're back at it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then back here Sunday next week with the same but different edition of the morning routine. Subscribe, support, thank you,
Please.
and we'll be here to take care, stay strong, and train with you soon. My name's Ian,
I'm Lauren.
and keep it.
We'll do this again soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have a nice day. Thank you.